Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Petrolheads Unleashed 110. My name is Zoe Shah. Today I'm going to drift limits again. This time to test out the Ford Mustang NASCAR. So I should be driving that today. Originally, I was supposed to be driving the McLaren MP4, but unfortunately, it wasn't available. So those guys give me a chance to drive another car. So I opted for option A, which was the NASCAR. Option B, the Ferrari 458. Let's see if I can fit both of them in today. So I'll do the NASCAR. If I've got time, I'll try to do the Ferrari 458 as well. That's another car which I was really keen to test out on the track. So guys, stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed my vlog. I hope you also enjoyed my previous vlogs for the Porsche GT3, which I did, and also for the Lamborghini Huracan Trofeo. So you can see the link is in the description. So click on those links as well, and you can watch them there. But today, hopefully you'll have good fun watching me drive these cars. I will see if I could get like a hot lap fitted in as well for the drift, for drifting as well. So yeah, back at Drift Limits, and guess what? Another safety briefing. I've done it before, I know the rules, but nope, it's still mandatory every single time. I can't blame them though. Different cars, different days, and let's be real, not everyone out here is Lewis Hamilton. Got to keep it safe before we send it. Briefly done, and guess who's back? Yep, good old Sam, the instructor I had in my last vlog when I drove the Porsche GT3. Just like last time, we jumped on the bus and Sam took us over to the Bomber Circuit, home of the serious stuff. No drift cars here. This is where they bring out the F1 single-seaters and the monster of a NASCAR. The moment we pulled up, you could feel it. This wasn't gonna be a casual cruise.
So, for F1000 drivers, I'm not sure if you're aware, the car you're going to be seeing here, it's a 1000cc, so 1 litre motorbike engine race car. 1 litre doesn't sound very impressive, but it has a good bit of power to it, as it is a superbike engine. You can feel the turbo coming in there as well.
We just touched down at the Bomber Circuit, an old field that's now a playground for serious machines. And right there in front of us, the actual Jordan F1 car, used by Jordan Grand Prix team back in the day. This isn't a replica, this is the real deal. Next to it, a loud, aggressive NASCAR, just itching to hit the tarmac. You can feel it already. This is going to be an experience to remember. Before you jump into the driver's seat of the stock car, your experience kicks off with 4 sighting laps alongside a professional instructor in a track-prepared sports car. These laps are all about learning racing lines, braking points, and mastering techniques. And to crank up the excitement, one of those laps is a high-speed passenger thrill ride, giving you a real taste of the track at full pace.
Knock it up to the next gear, and it should be as simple as pulling the pedal while you ease off the gas. Okay, so you shouldn't need the clutch for actually changing gears, it's just for starting and stopping the car. It's going to be a little bit weird. I'm going to keep on switching between the two. So that's you guys.
Yeah.
For the NASCAR, I think we're actually going to start the car off in second.
Second gear.
So you won't need first at all. Just ease off the clutch and you should be able to go in second the whole way around, basically.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this is where it gets a bit strange as well, because you guys are going to be going different ways, which is why we're not running the cars at the same time. NASCAR goes this way and the F1000s go to the right here.
Right.
Partly the reason the F1000s go through here, much more fun to go through the twisty corners. The NASCAR, I can tell you from experience, you can't see any of these curbs or cones from the NASCAR, the way you're sat down low. So you just murder all of the cones every lap. And because it's a bigger, kind of longer car, with very loose steering, it's just a struggle to drive through. It just makes it less fun. Okay, but the F1000s, you'll be twisting through this bit. The NASCAR, you'll be coming across the faster bit, which we'll cover in a second. Now, weirdly, there's some odd things to the racing line. For example, I've just driven over part of the concrete there, which we'll cover in a moment. But there are simple things like the brake board we just passed, the reference cones just here, where we're going surprisingly wide out before turning in. It's a much later turn than you'd expect, and if you see there's a small yellow cones on the left here, this is your apex we're just coming to now. It's a late apex, but that generally allows you to get on the power more safely and then get more power, more speed down the straight. Now, for both of your experiences, your first 4 laps will be yellow flag, warm-up laps, while you're getting a feel for the car. And at that point, we're not really wanting to squeeze to full power anywhere. But once you've done your first 4 warm-up laps, you should be going full power down this straight. Okay, but the key thing is squeeze in that full power until you get to this big orange cone. This is where there should be a braking board, but I think unfortunately the wind took it away recently. So we're braking gently from here. This is where it's a little bit odd. There should be a reference cone just about here for when to start turning in. But you can see as we're coming in towards the cones on the left, your apex, by the blue and white curbing. And then again, you can tell that the track comes off to the right here, next to the cones, but not driving on the cones. Generally speaking, the blue and white curb is there to be driven over. However, there are some points that can seem counterintuitive. For example, here, you'd expect to be going straight onto the blue and white curbing, but would actually direct you wide out to a reference cone directly in front of us. You'll see as we come around next time, for a later turn in than you'd expect, which then brings you to this later apex we're passing just now. Okay, now it does seem odd, and I'll show you on the next lap why we do it like that. Same thing here, the curbing to the left we're actually ignoring, and we're going wide out to some reference cones and passing just now. It gives you a better line to essentially get round the circuit to carry more speed. Now here with the F1000s, you'd start braking around this orange cone and then starting to turn into the right. But just to show you here for the NASCAR, you will be carrying speed all the way through this section. Just be wary, the NASCAR in particular, if you're pushing it, can get loose just about here. Same with the Formula 1 car. If you carry speed through here, the back can start to get loose around about here, and there'll be a high speed slide into the field, so something to be wary of. Okay? It's a little bit odd. You've got some different references for when to start slowing down, but as you're passing the braking board, you still want to be braking towards that outside cone. This is your reference. Again, it's a much later turn than you expect, but this again helps you to get a safer turn in towards the apex, and helps you to start squeezing in the power more cleanly until that steering wheel is more or less straight, where you should be able to squeeze down to full power. Okay. Now again, for both of you, the red cone is where we start braking, as I said before. Now this is an odd one. We should be lingering on the brakes as we turn in here. Okay. If we just do a bit of brake, then off the brakes and turn, you'll find you get a good speed for that curb, and then you're way too fast for this one. If you slow down, so you've got a good speed for this one early, then you're way too slow for the other one. So it's a weird one where we linger on the brakes as you turn in, which is something we don't normally do, but really does help here. Now, it's hard to spot, unfortunately, the way we've set things up now, but there's some small yellow cones directly in front of us. I don't know if you can just about sliding in the field. That's it. Now, that's what we should be going out towards. The thing is, as you see the blue and white curb, it's so natural just to want to turn in early. We hit the blue and white curb early, we hit the reference early, which is great, and then you see where the car's going now. And you would think, well, Sam, just don't be an idiot, steer more. But if you've carried any speed through there, you'll turn and the car will just keep on going straight. So this is why we have the safely. So following the F1000 line here again, at the red cone, we squeeze gently on the brakes, and then once I stop waving that, you can start building up more speed. And I believe with all your experiences here, your first 4 laps will be under the yellow flag, and then you have a further 4 laps. After that, we can push the car to the limits that you want to, okay, wherever you feel comfortable. With all experiences, if you want to do more laps at any point, when you get the black and white checkered flag, which is the end of your experience, you have that waved here, you finish your lap and you go and park down the bottom. When you get the black and white checkered flag, if you want to do more laps, you can just show 4 with your hand. Okay, and we'll say, okay, you want to do 4 more laps, we'll let you do the 4 extra laps, then do the black and white checkered flag again. Okay, that's a lot easier to see with the F1000s, but you could make it clear with the NASCAR, so I'll be looking for that when I wave that basically either you're going to see that and go, okay, that's fine, I'm going to drive around to the pits, or if I see you doing any sort of hand gesture like this, I'm going to assume you want 2 more laps. Okay, so it's an option you have. If you see the red flag over here, then there's some sort of issue with the car or some sort of issue on the track, so just brake and clutch, bring the car to a stop. Okay, the blue flag is to do with overtaking. You won't be seeing that today because you're only running one car at a time. And if you see the yellow flag after the first 4 laps, that would indicate that you're driving excessively fast or aggressively, and I'm just expecting you're going to lose control of the car at some point. So I'll be waving that and saying, oh my god, calm down. Okay. Last thing, we do have some boards over there I can hold up. For example, the F1000s, if you're accidentally driving in first, second or third and keeping in those gears, it's very easy to spin and lose control of the car, especially on cold tyres. So I've got a board that I could hold up saying shift up. Okay, it's unlikely you'd see this for the NASCAR because that should suit second gear for the whole circuit. But again, if you were maybe to hit the rev limiter down the straight and it sounds like in the wrong gear, I could hold up that board saying shift up. Okay, there's a couple of other boards like smoother driving, which I shouldn't use because that's an embarrassing thing to show to people, or foot off clutch if your foot was resting on the clutch and I can hear something's wrong as you're driving around. Okay. Alright, that's the basics there. Before I go for the we're going to go 2 fast laps just to show you the 2 different racing lines. With the F1000s, I believe it had been covered in the briefing. If you lose control of the car, something very important you should do. Do you remember what it is? So you're driving around, the car starts to slide. Yes. Now, it depends on who's doing the brief. The clutch is very important to stop the starter motor from blowing up. However, that won't stop you from spinning and then rolling backwards 50 feet into the field. What would stop you is the brakes. Okay, and to be honest, if you totally miss the clutch but smack the brake to the floor, that's going to stop the wheels turning backwards, which stops the engine and the starter going backwards anyway. So what I'd recommend is both of them. So you've got a double chance of stopping damage, just emergency stop. So if you're driving around, you go, shit, I've spun the car, stamp on the brake and clutch, full emergency stop, we come to a stop, and theoretically we may be able to let you continue if the car still starts and you're not buried in a field. Okay. Alright, so as I said, we're going to do 2 hot laps here just because you guys are doing different layouts. So everyone is wearing seatbelts. Yeah. Alright, now I should point out we're on cold slicks, so this will probably get a little slippery. See how it goes. So we're braking around this red cone, lingering on the brakes as we turn in, gently back on power. And if I get too much power through here while turning, then you see how the car wants to go to the field? That's why we straight line. Wide out, then turning in. Later you'd expect gently squeezing on power down to full power. At the orange cone, squeezing on the brakes. We're lingering on those brakes as we turn in. Careful with power, otherwise again you can feel the car could try to slide. We'll now try the faster NASCAR line. Apologies about the smoke, I'm not sure where that's coming from. So here you go a bit wide out, gentle with the power as you turn in, otherwise you can see how the back can try to slide. Maintain that brake pressure so you get nice and wide out before turning in, and then gently back on the power. And again, you can feel too much power too early, the car can try to slide. And we're maintaining that bit of brake pressure while we slow down, and careful about too much gas again on the exit of the corner. That's what the NASCAR can feel like, but you could possibly hear me getting on the gas. It's staying stable.
Alright, time to climb in. And yep, I'm going through the window like it's a scene out of the race movie. It's a tight squeeze, no doubt. You don't just sit in these cars, you literally wear them. Once you're in, nothing but the engine, the cockpit and the track ahead.
And you can sit down and wriggle in.
Yep. Oh, to fit it in.
So you should be able to find down there. Okay,
once I was in, it really hit me. It's seriously claustrophobic. You are locked in tight, like you have been cocooned in carbon fibre. No wiggle room, no distractions, just you, the wheel and the road ahead.
The start button just here to start the engine up. I forget actually, although I've installed the gearbox now, it's a bit awkward to get the start button while it's in gear. So we'll start her up, then we'll put her into gear essentially. So if you want to try starting her up now, oh actually no, I don't think my colleague can connect it. He turned off the battery. One second. Alright, so if you try it now, so clutch all the way down, just push it down. That's it, push and hold that start button.
This one here?
Just to start up. So we're going to get you into third gear, which again, keep the clutch down.
Sam leaned in and calmly walked me through all the controls. Clutch, gears, what to expect with throttle response, the lot. And as he talked me through it, the engine came to life, loud, raw and ready. Discomfort, all gone. Adrenaline, maxed.
His arms currently under the wheel, so you don't want to do it. Yeah? Alright, so
I'm going to keep it a second whole time.
I was saying, are you going to use the filming? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Double. I'll do the whole
Record everything, yeah. Everything. I'll end it afterwards.
So, what I'm going to do is just very gently.
I eased off the clutch, fed in the throttle, and just like that, we were off. The acceleration, brutal, immediate, it felt like being launched out of a cannon. No delay, just instant force. The first corner came up fast and the grip was unreal. The car just stuck. No drama, no sliding, just precision. I could feel every bump in the track, every vibration through the wheel. It's not just driving, it's pure connection. Coming out of that final corner, I was absolutely buzzing. Compared to the GT3 I drove last time, the NASCAR is a different beast. It's big, it's loud, and it feels like you're wrestling a wild animal around the track. No fancy electronics, no assist, just you, a ton of horsepower, and a whole lot of noise. It's raw, it's heavy, and you feel everything.
That's it. Perfect.
All good.
Yeah, you're all good now.
Fantastic.
Did you enjoy the extra four?
Absolutely.
People normally do. They relax when they've done it once.
Yeah.
That's good. Really
That
good.
was awesome.
Okay, so we're going to get some of the safety stuff out of your way and get that out of your way.
Funniest one is normally getting the steering wheel off though.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
people have a habit of smacking themselves in the face with your
right,
steering
okay.
be
wheel.
extremely careful. You need to pull that ring back towards you. Don't pull it hard. Do not pull
As
it
long as your
hard.
other hand's there.
Yeah, that's all good. Okay.
Let's put that aside.
Good, good.
That's fine.
Nicely done. Sam, I'm afraid you're crawling in to do the GoPro. I can't reach.
Yeah.
You're fine. Take your feet off everything. You're all good.
everything's
Relax.
off. Sounds good. That was amazing. Was that okay? Driver, was it okay?
You were
Yeah,
driving nicely.
very well.
Very
Hell
nicely.
yeah.
Built the speed nicely.
Yeah.
Got more content in the car. That was all good. Excellent. Really good.
Yeah.
Main thing is, did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed it. Yeah. Right.
There you go.
But the main challenge, the fun bit will be getting out of the car now.
Yeah, I was going to say now.
The challenge, definitely.
It was loud, raw, and relentless. I stepped out sweating, pumped, full of adrenaline, and honestly, loving every second of it.
Twist your shoulders out while scraping your back hideously on the seat. That's it. Now
That's a fun
hold
part.
that bar and hold the bar under here.
I hope you enjoyed this vlog. It was an absolute blast tearing it up in that NASCAR. But we're not done yet. In my next vlog, I'll be getting behind the wheel of something truly special, the Ferrari 458 Challenge track car. You don't want to miss that one. Make sure you like, subscribe and comment, and I'll catch you on the next one.